Being in the military is no easy task, but that doesn't mean there aren't amazing moments from time to time. From a dangerous anchor drop failure to an F-35B jet performing a vertical landing, here are 5 incredible military moments that were caught on camera. Now, if you're like most people, chances are you've never seen the inside of the anchoring part of the ship. Heck, you might even be under the impression that the anchors are just thrown overboard in hopes that they'll catch something on the sea floor. The truth, however, is much more complicated. Modern anchors, especially those on board large military ships, are much more sophisticated and advanced now. This clip from the USS Ronald Reagan gives you an idea of what we mean. Take a look at the size of the anchor, as well as how it's controlled. But, like anything in life, things don't always work out. Anchor failures can take on all sorts of shapes and sizes, but when dealing with massive ships with anchors like these, they tend to turn out more catastrophic. Back in the early 2000s, crews on board the USS Tarawa captured the exact moment an anchor drop failure occurred. The cause of this accident is believed to be as follows. The crew let off too much of the anchor brake to get it moving. When it did start to move, the lack of friction combined with the momentum of the chain meant that reapplying the brake was practically useless. The anchor quickly went out of control before eventually falling out of the ship and onto the seabed below. Thankfully, though, there were no injuries reported. Ever wondered how fighter jets are launched off of Navy carriers? There's not enough runway to properly take off, so how does the entire process work? Well, as it turns out, the Navy and Air Force have come up with an ingenious solution to the lack of a proper runway. You see, since all the runway does is help the jet come up to speed, the Navy carriers are now equipped with what can be called a launcher. The launcher provides the jet with a push that sends it flying over the edge. Once the jet has enough speed, the pilot takes over. Footage shot on the USS Theodore Roosevelt gives you a rare and exclusive look at one of these launches, but from inside the cockpit. The pilot in this video was flying an FA-18F Super Hornet, a very popular and capable fighter jet. The takeoff was filmed in 2018 and went off without a hitch. The video gives you a great view at just how short the runway is, as well as how impressive our technology is. The history of carrier launches dates all the way back to the earliest version of military aircraft, and are now commonplace on any and all modern carriers around the world. The Air Force is one of the most highly decorated branches of the military, and an air show is a fantastic show of power while simultaneously showcasing the marvel of engineering that fighter jets really are. Back in November of 2017, 4 F-16 Fighting Falcons from the 100th Fighter Squadron performed an incredible flyover of the Iron Bowl. Footage from inside the cockpit shows the pilots taking off, before eventually flying overhead in perfect formation. The hardest part about this is not the flyover itself, but timing it. It's meant to occur at the end of the national anthem, so timing that brief window properly is no easy feat. In this instance, the Air Force had a man on the ground, able to communicate directly with the pilots, who were stationed to take off not too far away. When they got the green light, they hit the skies, and in the end, executed the flyover perfectly. Modern fighter jets are jam-packed with all sorts of crazy capabilities, but perhaps none quite as amazing as the vertical landing. In something that seems straight out of a science fiction movie, these massive aircraft can literally just hover and take off, or hover and land as if the plane barely weighs anything. It's pretty damn cool. Something you definitely need to see. Now, the aircraft in the video was an F-35B fighter jet, and it performed the vertical landing perfectly. The location this was shot was the Marine Corps Air Station in Iwakuni, Japan. The history of vertical landings and takeoffs dates back many decades, with all kinds of crazy prototypes and designs being created. Now, they are an important tool for any advanced military. By now, you've probably seen tons of videos about storms and insane hurricanes. They're some of the most incredible moments our planet has to offer. But for some, just watching these things isn't enough. They need to get into the action to both experience it as well as study it. Back on October 18th of 2018, pilots from the 53rd Weather Reconnaissance Squadron did just that when they flew directly into the eye of Hurricane Michael. Despite the assumed danger, the pilots made it out without as much as a dent on the plane. Notice the rounded, almost circular design of the clouds once they're within the eye itself. You can really tell that that is the eye of the hurricane when you see it. The data from their findings helps the National Hurricane Center to more accurately determine the path of the hurricane and save potentially hundreds, if not thousands, of lives. Well, that's about all we have for you today. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more just like it, then be sure to click the link on screen now. With that, thanks for watching and tune in next time.